You are watching the Justin TV Invitational, cast by myself, Total Biscuit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SHOUTcraft right here. I bring you Socke in the baby blue trunks. He is playing Protoss here in the Metalopolis versus his opponent, Attero. In the red trunks, he is also playing Protoss. It is currently 2 for 2 in this best of 5 series. It is brutal. There is violence. Attero took the first 2 games by some well-executed 4 gates. Unfortunately for him, Socke had a few things up his sleeve. He's a sneaky individual. He came out with a great play on the Aya Garden, holding his opponent off long enough to get an expansion at the back of his base, and then was able to throw in some economic dominance and steamroll his opponent. And then in the second game, drama abound. My god, drama abound. With Socke winning, but only just after 2 Dark Templars sneak into his base with literally a second to spare on the photon cannon. It was unbelievably timed. Attero gets in there, guts the entire base. However, you note that Socke had an expansion, so he was able to get himself going again. Attero very late on his expansion, at the point where he mined himself out completely, ran out of money, and then he was eventually taken down by Socke as the expansion in the gold mineral, a very risky place to put it, was taken down by repeated sniping attempts from a superior force of Immortals and Stalkers. It was quite the match. If you haven't seen it and you are watching it on the VODs, then you should go watch that. Why are you watching Match 5 before Match 4? You're very dumb. If you're watching live and you missed it, then of course it will be available on the VODs on my YouTube channel at some point in the not-too-distant future. Those of you watching live who are not aware of where my YouTube channel is, it is youtube.com/totalhalibut. I have many 720p VODs up there. Nice and clean, and the audio sounds better as well because of magic and sorcery. And there's the only real explanation for that. Gateways, gateways, gateways. There we go. There's a completion on it right there, and the completion on the gateway for Attero as well. Cybernetic score coming down for both. No big surprises either way. Attero already finds his opponent. A little bit of tasing going on right here. Can't lose a probe. That would be terrible. And he almost does as well. A couple more hits he could have taken from there. Attero does not go in, needless to say. Could be very easily surrounded and destroyed, and doesn't want that to happen. More harassment. More harassment. Stabby, stabby. He wants to kill that probe, and you know what? He might even... Oh, slips away. Very, very sneaky right there. A slippery probe, folks. Perhaps lubricated. Not in the way that you might think. Well, we've seen Attero does pretty much nothing but 4 gates, and as it turns out that Attero actually got his ass handed to him in the last 2 games as a result of doing just that. There's the Chrono Boost with the Stalker coming out right here, pretty much identical on both fronts. Wants to keep that as far away as possible. However, bear in mind that Attero will no doubt try to send in another at some point in the not-too-distant future, escorted by usually 2 Stalkers and a Zealot, which is the usual composition of a initial 4-gateway push. And if you see 2 Stalkers and a Zealot plus a probe going out, you know exactly what's coming. It also helps, admittedly, that there are more gateways built. That tends to help. I don't know whether or not he's going to go for it. The 4-gateway coming down for Socke right now, and a successful defense right here. Socke looks like he's going to turn the tables on him right here. Will Attero go for the 4-gateway as well? It's fairly likely, considering. But he does only have 2 gateways down right now, and he supply blocked himself. There you go, just cleared it up right there. Not so helpful for him at all. Socke turning the tables, and it makes sense, really. I mean, if he's able to push out there and do the damage, that's very good for him. Attero with a good patrol going on right here, just to keep an eye out for 4 gates. However, he doesn't see any. This will be a little bit of a late deployment for him. Attero's still with no more gateways coming up. And you know what? That might be a critical mistake by him. I have to wonder if he can defend against this. That's great positioning there for Socke. Attero is absolutely unaware of this. Sentry coming out for Attero as well. Intriguing stuff. Very interesting. 2 gateways going down there for Attero. There's the Chrono Boost again. Zealot's coming out here. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the gateway advantage. Twilight Council. 3 gateway through the Twilight Council. That will lose against 4 gateway as far as I'm concerned. And it looks like Socke is going to prosecute that one very, very well indeed. Here we go. There's the deployment, and I don't believe Attero's going to be able to stop that. However, he does have a sentry, so we could see that divide and conquer approach. It was a good grab right there. Can he take the sentry out? He cannot. He doesn't have the visibility for it. All pile-on deployment right there for Socke, and he snipes off something there as well. Takes the sentry out as well, so a reasonable exchange. Sentry for Zealot, I'd be pretty happy with that. Socke with a unit count advantage. Very significant right here. I don't think Attero's going to be able to defend this, honestly. He's in the base already. Massive unit advantage right here for Socke. Big mistake as far as I'm concerned for Attero. Not good scouting at all. Here we go, and into the line he goes. Unit count advantage is still in favor because he's got those Zealots on the field. Attero looking to micromanage around as much as he can, delay it as much as he can. More warpins will be coming in, though, no doubt about that. And here we go. Pylon comes down. There is a reinforcement pylon, though, so he's not worried too much about that. He does have what he needs to be able to repulse that. If he takes the second pylon out, it will be game over, no question about that. Let's have a look at it, folks. 8 Stalkers, 5 Zealot versus 5 Stalkers, 2 Zealot. You know how that one goes. Into the lane he goes, takes out the Zealots, and only 4 Stalkers available right here. I am not happy for Attero. GG. That's what you get for 4-gating, folks. The 4-gate comes back and bites you in the ass. Socke goes forward, and Attero down to the losers bracket to face Brad OK. Socke will be in the finals of this particular tournament.